But I take the examples of other big software developers like Slack. Slack is a messaging tool, or iOS itself. So basically, what they did was giving out public beta. So when they do the prototype, when they have finished with a certain research product, they release it to the public, and they provide a feedback tool so that we can feedback from there. But then, as you said, as we experience, a lot of feedbacks are actually the low quality feedbacks. Like, I want this button rounded, why is the button square? Something like that. Because because this kind of thing is actually in the eye of the beholder, right? So it's up to us actually to filter out the things that is most important to the changes that we want to do for the feedbacks.
Because as a user of an e-commerce app like Lazada, buying cosmetics, but so we don't really provide feedback as me lah. I'm not sure about the others, but I feel like generally Asians don't really provide feedbacks and just complain. This is my personal perception. The second thing is I want to ask is, how does Hermo, say Hermo Community Service Hero, get your feedbacks from the initial launching phase up until you have like thousands or tens of hundreds of thousands of users? How do you facilitate during the process? And of course,
okay. So basically, we actually receive a lot of feedbacks every day. Every day we have quite a few.
And many channels, right?
And many channels. The social platform, even in our website itself.
Even they send email themselves.
Yeah.
Yes.
They will take the initiative. Like if they're really angry, usually angry. So the impression, because that's what the user experience is about, to help users achieve their goal. When their goal is not achieved, they get mad. How is it? Why I cannot do this? Why I cannot do that? So that's where they. And then we always in our internal dashboard, the first page is actually about customer feedback. That is the importance about understanding the user, because we really need. Somehow it benefits to the business, because we understand the user, and then if we sell a cup, 80% chance you will buy it. So that's where we want to be. I mean the goal of making the sales very effective is actually tackling user experience very well.
And also, I think there's some tools out there like Google Analytics that you can actually track it very well, right? Then you see, the whole user journey of your website, where they bounce off this kind of stuff. Then you know that you have to be
drop off. There is a tool that I previously used. I cannot remember exactly the name. It's a heat map. It can be used on website. Crazy 8, right?
Crazy 8.
Yeah. So they basically, if you pay, then it's a very expensive tool, but there's like a free trial thing that you can test it out, right? What it does is that it basically captures the whole screen of your website, where user will log into the site and then they click whatever, then you can see where their mouse scoring, where they stop, where they score. It's a pretty good tool, but Google also have a free one, but it's not so comprehensive. And it's usable for like app and also web, right?
It shows you how long you stay on your screen or whatever, and then what you can. I think on that note as well, I think when you think about the feedback from customers as well, I think it's good to give a very clear log of all those feedback and then prioritize it, because not all feedback, some feedback are have business impact, some are just aesthetic reasons, right? So you want to have a good kind of structure towards addressing those, and I think that was a learning, right? I think that whole design conversation with programming has to be very in line. So you must have a very good project management tool to track those, so that you don't bog the development team down making a lot of aesthetic changes which may not impact on business.
And I think one golden rule is that always assume your user is Indian.
Yeah.
Right.
So
yeah. So I think that is one key principle that we've been keeping around since we started until now with developing our products. Especially maybe our customer is more female and it's not really internet savvy, They don't really it's kind of true, right? I mean, yeah, we really have to make it a really simple, short, clear, sharp. That's it, right? So I think that always assume your user is idiot. So
I think another way of saying it as a user, it's not that doing some, hoping that the savvy people can use it well. Actually using something, everything has to be very instinctual. It should come naturally to you.
Yes.
So you pick up stuff, you eat food, you go into a car, you start a car, you know. So not to say design for dumb people, but design so that it is natural.
yes,
I think one thing that a lot of people make mistake is that we always assume they will know. We always assume they should know. This one's so easy, they should know. Assume, and you assume, the more you assume, you're gonna.
They don't think, then only to buy more, right? So don't make them think. They'll just
reduce the friction.
like without them knowing that you should click so many stuff and then go to the cart. Right?
And I think one typical example would be maybe your home banner, right? So you in your home banner you put a lot of your information up to how many percent off and some stuff. So then without a CTA button, you know,
Call to action.
Call to action. So people will see no way. Okay, I am interested in this discount and so on, so on.
Where do I click? And then they call you. Hey, where should I click?
So you know, it's this kind of very little stuff. You just put a single button there, you know, shut down, then they know that I'm going to click this. Right? So.
But I think one of the cheapest way, or we cheapest and easiest way is like use like Osmin or like Pro.io or even Vision, right? Is that you draw out a whole thing, make it look like a real app already, right? Then go directly to the target customer, like show them the thing, make them feel like it's a real thing. You see how they score, how they score on the website, how they. From there, they will try to click something on. They always try to do something that your app cannot do.
Yeah, one of the method that they call this is like a hallway testing. So for example, you have your prototype ready. You just in the hallway, you just give to someone and let them try it out whether they can achieve or not without even explaining anything. The product itself should be able to explain themselves.
One way that I did back then when we built Culture Guru, right, was that I give the app to my mom. So if my mom don't know how to use it, mean everyone don't know. If my mom know how to use it, then people should know already. So that's like a rule of thumb, right? Even I think website or app is the same thing.
But one thing to be aware of is actually because like Edward said about the instinctuous, right? Means that based on your instinct, you know where to go. But in this modern world, the instinct is already different because they are the new generations. They are used to tablets. They know it already. Even babies know how to delete apps, right? So they have a different kind of instinct. So that is, I think, we should be aware of in tackling newer generations.
Any more questions?
I have a question for Ewan. My idea is about the online platform. So how can I create value like Apple, you know, Apple is like overvalue because it's for same function like other phone, but people tend to pay more to get the iPhone.
Come again, the question?
My idea is about online platform. So how can I create value for my company so that people will use my platform? Just like Apple, because Apple, you know that for my opinion it's like overvalue because people tend to pay their product even
If it's expensive.
Yeah.
If it's expensive.
So how do you create a premium product, right?
yes.
How do you create the desire?
The desire to pay.
Even if for expensive product and cheap product, you put it side by side, they go for expensive still.
So, is that your narrative? Is that the purpose of your company? You want to create a product is equally as good but cheaper.
Yeah.
Is that what you want to do?
Yeah.
So I think if that is actually your core value, you just need to find a way to communicate and make them really understand it. But then making it cheaper is totally not hard. But how do you actually challenge that your quality is on par with Apple? That is a very hard story to sell, I find. So if you take Apple as an example, I would say that is depends on whatever material that you can support, like the actual result or what your company have done. So you use all those to narrate to the people that, hey, you see, we are actually this good as Apple, and then we also company continue to innovate and change people's life, you know, but we are selling at cheaper price. Essentially, that's what China tech company is doing. Their product proven to be even better. So I think it's a viable narrative, but then again, it involves a lot of investment. If that is the benchmark you want to reach, you want to be a good example.
I think Zikang has shared really good cases, right, for this question.
Already
Yeah.
I think one of the good, I used to have this discussion with some friends, right, when Uber and Grab, back then was my taxi started, right, they actually have a very distinct different, like Uber is a founder also like a cool guy and like party guy, a cool guy, and the app initially was targeted towards like the luxury kind of people. It's actually it's not a cheap thing to take Uber back then in the US. So the whole app is like black color, very simplistic, those kind of things. But when you look at my taxi back then, it's like green color, very friendly, like our normal kind of app, because it's like targeted for like normal people, right, to use it. Actually, I think they did use this kind of color or even design to actually differentiate themselves. What's your take on it?
I think by using as an example, I think what's interesting is also you talk about UI, UX, right, and how you position it. I think Grab was very much, you could tell from using it, from the interface experience, that it was more, it also balances the needs of the drivers, right? Because I remember when you get to you have to select your destination. So like small things like that, okay, it's kind of limiting for the user, but it signals that it's trying to balance the platform. It comes from supporting drivers kind of point of view. Whereas Uber was very sleek, very nice, very cool. For the consumers, very, very fancy. And then I think it also suggests from the user experience that, I don't have to select my destination, means that the driver has to bear all the friction. So there's friction for the driver side, but for the consumer side, it's very, very amazing, right? And I think that was honestly one of Uber's biggest challenge when they entered the local Southeast Asian market, because the drivers here were not used to it. They don't like that. They want to know where they're going because they want to kind of plan their logistics, right? And so that was considered Uber phase.
Yeah, like in terms of like consumer market, right, I think it's really I think it's quite depends on which industry you are tapping in, right? So for the consumer market, right, I would say until now in Southeast Asia, for the consumer internet, right, they don't really buy for premium. I would say they will still go online to buy cheaper and hard to get the products. So when you are trying to brand yourself as like maybe like Sephora and you're selling online and you're selling premium, nobody going to buy, right? So people, it still really depends on your audience, on which industry you are at right now.
I have one question. Like anybody else have questions? Yeah. Okay.
This question is open to everyone. Actually, just curious, right? Because it's hard to relate to you guys because you guys are actually there already. But for us, right, we are very basic, just start out. So how would you suggest us to, come up with some, branding guideline, brand logo, and how to tell a story behind it? Do you recommend us to actually do ourselves, or outsource to other people, or spend a lot of money to a designing company to help us on this? It's very basic questions. Yeah.
Can I take this one? So I think the design itself, how pretty it looks, you can always hire people. Even it comes down to the design that I mentioned, how nice you want it to be. But the core value of the company is a very simple idea. It's just like a seed you will go through the tree. But that idea cannot come from anyone else besides the founder himself. You need to understand why are you doing this. For example, take my company. I'm not tech, I have F&B, pretty simple, everyone is doing it. But what's so special about me that can keep this going and then keep me differentiate from other people? I look at my company as a company, I'm not following other people's footsteps. I look at what is lacking in JB. We are a place where not many people would say, we have a lot of entertainment here. Our friends come from KL, we know where to bring them. We are that kind of location where I see there's a need to create better experiences in terms of F&B. So we are a company that we define ourselves and will continue to cultivate and contribute to the F&B scene in JB, and then continue to create interesting and memorable experiences. So we started off doing a cafe, then we add value to it, we do dining, we do events, we do wedding, we host a couple wedding in Tropic. So these are the things that echo with our core values. So you are the investing company, right? So how do you define yourself? What is so special about your company compared to there are so many other companies giving out workshop, membership, give you tips and tricks how to invest? What's so special about you? Why are you doing this? Is there a higher purpose of you doing this? That makes a big difference. And then when people hear that kind of narrative, they don't need to see your product, they already have confidence. Yeah. So I guess you need to ask yourself that question first, like why are you doing this? What's so special about my product? Cannot be just cheaper, cannot be just look nicer. Is there a deeper meaning to it? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Continue.
Yeah, to address Grayson question, you can see back like Google logo in 20 years back, right? And so I think just start first, right? Then you will work time and time. Yeah, so it's really okay. Release first, right?
Release. Because I think that question actually involves actually you need to be prepared on the spiritual, the motivational level about the passion that you have. Because like you said, you just release. Because in order for you to understand what's coming, we cannot predict what are the challenges that you are going to face. But we have faced that. But how do we face that? That is actually where the motivation comes in. You need to be very passionate and you really need to believe in what you're doing, the idea behind it. That is actually the thing that can keep you persistent and persevere. How big the challenge is, you will overcome it. Things like that.
I think online there is a lot of design tools that's like free brand logo design. As long as you got your name already, right? You can just put your name inside and then they will like automatically generate you like multiple different kind of style of logos. You can easily get that online. Then it's free. You get that already. Then maybe you want to hire like some freelance designer or at the start, to easily give you something and you can actually start from there, right? Then moving forward, then you continue to develop the whole thing.
And actually, as much as you are very worried and scared that your first logo might not be something that you actually want, you think that it's not perfect, but actually rebranding is not a bad thing. In fact, actually you gather all your info and the feedback that they all got from a user and all. By actually rebranding it, you public can also see that you're confident in this, and then you're actually making that product better. That is actually what users want to see. We all users are not judgmental. Seeing you have a bad logo doesn't mean that we judge you just because of that. To say it doesn't make sense at all. Just like the personal finance app, just now someone pitched it. Imagine it is very ugly, but it is so useful that based on the statistic, people use it really actually save money. Do you think that we will care how pretty it looks? But of course, if it is pretty, it's a bonus. If you have a nice logo, it is bonus, but that can come later.
Coming back to this, right? I just have a question, right? How many of you actually have decided on your company name or your product name already? How many of you then bought the domain already? So lesser, right? So I think I want to take this opportunity to ask this question, right? See how you guys deal with it back then, right? So how do you decide to choose your company name back then? And if you realize that your company name domain is already taken by someone else, then what you do? You change the name. What can be done on this?
There will never be a scenario where there's actually one single name that is perfect. Actually, the business model of you try to find a name to call it, to label it, but I think that there are actually many options. That is not that you have only one single option. It comes down to whether it fulfills all the criteria as a name. It fulfills the criteria that people can relate to what you do. It fulfills the criteria where people can actually enunciate it. It's not something that's very difficult. It carries maybe the right values. I think a lot of names can fall within this category. Not to mention there are a lot of middle words. So not necessarily you have that one perfect name that people take it and you're so frustrated.
I would say like purchasing domain from some other one is not a wise move.
So if my brand name, let's say my brand name is already taken, right? So let's say linfeng.com is already taken, right? I shouldn't buy linfeng.com. Yeah, I
Think of another
it's a
thing.
very expensive
Yes.
thing, right? To do.
So basically, in terms of naming things, right, in the programming world, in the developers world, we actually talk about this a lot. I mean, to name a variable, for example, to name a function, we always argue this function should be this name, this name, this name, until the company also bankrupt, we still have this nothing to call the name. That's some joke on the developer.
I don't know. If you ask that question, I think you think about my taxi transition to Grab as a very perfect example. I mean, how important does the name matter, right? And the thinking behind why was it named My Taxi first, and then how it became Grab, right? From that name, you see the evolution of the business, right? I mean, it started as My Taxi because it was deliberately local. It started in Malaysia, trying to conquer the Malaysian market, right? And it was only trying to dismantle taxi services by hiring, using an app to book taxis, right? And then it moved on to Grab. Why they decided to use Grab more global, shorter, a lot faster to kind of name it. And why Grab? Because they Grab everything, right? Grab all services. So it was a transition. So I think it's true. I don't think anyone needs to be too caught up with the name. I think the name forms a part of the whole story, right? And it also from Grab's experiences, it can change. Doesn't matter. And it evolves, and I think the name signals where the business is heading towards or has been and where is it going. And the My Taxi story to Grab is a perfect example. It's a simple name change, but underlying all that is there's a lot of decisions made as to why they decided to change it to Grab.
I used to think of a hack, right? Back then I'm doing Culture Guru, I wanted to buy cultureguru.com. But shit man, someone else bought it and so I'm doing something else totally different, right? So I went on and buy cultureguru.my, cultureguru.asia. So I do that. So even though I can't get .com, it's probably something that you can think about, right? Any other question? Joel,
I had one, but I think some of that was already answered. I wanted to ask about the evolution of a brand. Because when we started, me and my co-founder, all we did was went to the internet. We got a name and said, okay, just generate logo, $20 US. We get the graphic file, and we were quite happy with it. But then we were thinking of going into Singapore, and then we realized that when we showed the logo to some people, they said, well, it looks like PAP's PAP's logo, and yeah. And we didn't notice that at all. Yeah. So, but I think then there will be another phase of evolution. So, probably just a message that it doesn't cost a lot to do a logo and to launch it, but I think you need to be prepared to change it and evolve.
I mean, it's also good that now you're thinking about it, right? So you have all these points to maybe if you are a step ahead in thinking of your logo in branding. I think the basics is also, I don't know why I have to use feedback as an example here. I'm sorry. If you have booked your name, that's fine, but I give you the feedback in our office. I was just like, sometimes it's also useful to have the name that indicates or at least suggests what you're trying to do. If it's completely disconnected, then sometimes like, it's difficult.
Extra effort.
It's an extra,
educate.
Yeah, it's a bit tedious, not that it's by, if you name it wrongly, that's it. But then if you have a name that kind of suggests something, like that.
And also I think bear in mind certain type of words are kind of prohibited to use when you register a company. I remember back then when I was doing in Singapore, right, incorporating companies, the company cannot anyhow use like raffles, those kind of words that you can't use. I think Malaysia also has this kind of
A lot. Royal.
Yeah.
Sorry, another.
Sorry.
I think we haven't touched the topic on copyright, when we should get legal advice into a copyright name.
Don't worry too
trademark.
much about this at this moment. I mean, at the first 3 years.
Yeah.
You mean, are you concerned on the legality issues?
Yeah,
Legal
pretty
issues?
much. Or someone copying the same name or.
Yeah, the truth is, no one's going to sue you
Yeah.
and you are a young company because they're not going to get any money out of it anyway. It's just too much legal cost. Just do it. But yes, you will have to start worrying about it if you decide you become like a multi-million-dollar industry. Then you're like, oh shit, you better start getting a because trademarks are expensive.
Yes.
Very expensive.
It's like 10,000 over, right?
And take 2
Oh,
years
yeah.
to actually do it.
It's very tedious, long process. You can start exploring, but I would think best place your resources somewhere else until the right time comes, you need to take a trademark or copyright stuff.
Yeah, I think it's a very rare case to see lawsuits in this area, right? Except for the big brands like T-Leaf and Chatai or something like that.
Because the franchise level,
Yeah, those are the big names already. So yeah.
One company actually had that in the e-commerce industry in Malaysia. It's called e-commerce Milo. Yeah, they used to use that called e-commerce Milo. It's their website. But I think when they got bigger and a lot of people watch, read their website things, and they did get something from Nestle, and ask them to change the name or kind of stuff.
So they become EC insider.
Yeah, it happens, but not really a lot. But I think sometimes that when you lock down that domain name already, it can be a very strong proof that you actually own that when someone's trying to copy. Anything else? Anything else? Yes? No? Right, then I think that's it for tonight. Pretty good timing. It's like